Hi, this is Teacher Julie, and today we will go through 2018 ACS SA2 Paper 2. My word of advice is don't be afraid of the Paper 2. It can be done very well if you learn to recognize what the question is actually asking for and identify the concepts linked to it. So let's come on in. At a fun fair, candies are only sold in packets of 9. Each packet is sold at $5. One candy is given free for every 2 packets bought. What is the maximum number of candies Peter will receive when he spent $25? So, to help you understand this question, I wanted to draw something for you first. So, you have $25 now. And you know that one packet is $5. So, for every $5, you are able to buy one packet. For every 2 packets bought, there will be one candy for free. One candy free, right? So that means here, you also have one candy free. Okay, and in every packet, there are 9 candies. So all these packets will have 9 each. So how many maximum candies can Peter get? So what you do will be, the steps are $25 divided by $5, which is equals to 5. So basically there are 5 sets of $5. So how many candies are there in 5 sets of $5? It will be 5 multiplied by 9. And there are actually 45 candies here. And these 45 candies come from this packet of candies, and we must remember to add the 2 free candies here. So it will be 45 plus 2, which is equal to 47. If you want to practice more questions of this type, notice that the concept here is maximum number and also at here packets of 9. So all these are questions that test you on the concept of sets and also test you on the concept of maximum and minimum. Finally, it also tests you on concept of how do you handle when you buy things and they give you free items. Okay? Yeah. Let's move on to the next question. Now let's try question 2. Masha cut out 3 identical right-angled triangles. She joined them to form a figure PQRS as shown. SR is 20 cm and QR is 8 cm. The perimeter of the figure PQRS is 44 cm. Find the area of the figure PQRS. The important concept that you need to know here is that to find the figure of this shape, they are made up of 3 triangles. And the formula of a triangle is definitely half times base times height. Since these are 3 identical triangles, so they share common base and common height. First thing first is notice that this is 20 cm, and if we divide this by 2 because there are 2 sides, 1, 2, we know that 20 divided by 2 is actually 10, and therefore this is also 10. Since the perimeter is 44, perimeter is made up of from here to here, and then to here, to here, to here. So if we can use 44 and minus 20 and minus 8 and minus 10, we will actually get the length of PS, which is equal to 6 cm. So we know that PS is actually 6. And now let me draw this triangle out for you. So this is the base, this is the height. Okay, and therefore what we have just found is the base of the triangle, which is 6. And now we have to decide what is the height. To find the height, notice that this is the base of the triangle and this is the shorter portion. So this is actually the longer portion, which is actually 8. So area of one triangle will be half times 8 times 6, which is equals to 24 cm squared. So since there are 1, 2, 3 triangles, it will be 3 times 24 to find the area of figure PQRS, which is equals to 72 cm squared. So our answer is actually 72. So let me just recap the concept here. We need to know right angle triangle, and of course we need to understand the concept of perimeter and also the area of triangle. Let's move on to the next question now. Question 3. The bar graph shows the number of students playing in the various sports during the school sports day. 1/4 of the students played soccer. Draw the bar that shows the number of students who played soccer. Let's see what concept is being tested here. Number 1, we can see that the concept tested is on your understanding of the bar graph and also your understanding of fraction of a set. Usually, what the student will do is to find out what are the rest of the student playing so that they can find out what is 1/4 of the soccer. But I will now show you a shortcut that you may want to consider doing this question. So notice that this is actually one box here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So this 18 boxes, let's call it 18 unit, and this 18 unit is actually 3/4 of the student, because one whole, which represent all the student, minus 1/4 is actually equals to 3/4. So we can say that 3 unit is equals to 18, and therefore 1 unit is actually equals to 18 divided by 3, which is 6. So since the number of students who play soccer represent 1 unit, so we can shade it here. So this is actually the answer to the question without the need to add all this and calculate. Question 4. In the figure below, draw 3 more straight lines to form a symmetric figure with AB as the line of symmetry. So we can see that A and B are here, and they are supposed to be the line of symmetry. So the concept tested here is definitely on symmetry. And since the line of symmetry is like the mirror line, so let's plot the points that are needed to complete this line of symmetry. And it will be, try to mark up the point that you need to draw. So this is here, followed by here, and then here. So let's draw this first. So this one will be actually from here to here, and here. Let's try. Okay. Then after that, we have to draw the next one, which is from here to here. And then finally from here, we are supposed to draw a line. So let me try to use the arrow again, which is to here. Okay, so let's move on to the next question now. Question 5. Mrs. Lee drew 3 squares to form a figure. The area of the squares were in the ratio of 1:4:13. She then shaded some part of the figure as shown below. What is the ratio of the shaded part to the unshaded part in the figures? Okay, so first, let's recognize what concepts are tested here. So what is the ratio means that the question wants us to find the ratio. So finding ratio. Other concepts that you must be familiar with is things like, of course, shaded and unshaded. So let's try to label them. Of course, the biggest square is 13. So let's put it at here. This is 13. The smallest square is 1, which is actually at here. And the middle-sized square is actually 4, which is actually at here. So notice that if this is 1 and this is 4, the unshaded here should be 4 minus 1, which is actually 3. And if this is 13 and this is actually a 4, right? So therefore, the shaded part here will be 13 minus 4, which is equals to 9. So to find the shaded is to the unshaded. The shaded will actually be 9 plus 1, which is actually 10, is to the unshaded, which is this white portion here, which is 3. So the answer will be 10 is to 3. Now let's look at question 6. Tom had 4/5 as many stamps as Michael. After Michael gave away 3/7 of his stamp, Tom had 40 more stamps than Michael. How many stamps did Tom have? Let's try to identify as many concepts as we can. 4/5 here, the concept will be fractions to units. So Michael gave 3/7 of his stamps away. So there is a change that happens at here. And notice that there is no change that happens to Tom. So there is an unchanged quantity concept here. And of course, there is a more than or less than concept here. To do this type of question well, the best way to try is to use the unit table and draw a table out so that you are very clear about the relationship of the parts in the story. So let's start. So this is Tom, this is Michael, and Tom is 4/5. So we have 4 here and 5 here. Next, after Michael gave away, so Michael is the generous person who gave away 3/7. So under Michael here, at first he had 7 and he's giving away 3, and now he has 4. Take note that these two numbers actually refers to the same quantity, which is the number of stamps Michael have at first. They actually represent the same quantity. So we will make them the same using the concept of LCM and also units manipulation. So in questions like this, it's very important to find out what are the repeated information that refers to the same quantity but represented in different numbers. So let's do it now. So the LCM of 5 and 7 is actually 35. So we are going to times 7 here and times 7 here. So here we will times 5, and times 5. So now we can see that Tom is actually equals to 28 unit. There's no change at here, so Tom is still 28 unit. Let's look at Michael now. Michael is 35 unit, and there was a change, minus 15 unit, and therefore now it is 20 unit. So the most important number is actually at here, because this is actually a quantity number and it's not a ratio number. So our job is to find out 40 is actually how many units. So since this happened in the end, so Tom is more than Michael by 40. So we can now tell that 28 unit minus 20 unit is actually 8 unit. And 8 unit is actually equals to 40. And now we can find 1 unit, which is 40 divided by 8, and it will be 5. So how many stamps did Tom have? Tom have 28 unit. So 28 unit is actually equals to 28 times 5, and it will be 140 stamps. Question 7. Susan received $40 each day for food and transport. She saved the rest of the amount of money after she spent on food and transport. The graph shows the daily amount of money she spent from Monday to Friday. A. What is the difference between the amount Susan spent on Wednesday and Friday? B. What was the total amount of money she saved on Monday and Tuesday? C. Write down all the days in which Susan saved more than half of her daily amount of money. To do this question, let's identify the concepts tested. Number 1, we are tested on line graph. Number 2, we are also tested on the idea of half and definitely more than or less than. For every amount that Susan received, there is definitely a saved portion and a spent portion. This is a table that shows all the spent portion. So let's try to answer A. What is the difference between the amount Susan spent on Wednesday and Friday? Difference is to compare the extra, which is 2 minus. So on Wednesday, Susan spent $16. On Friday, Susan spent $24. So, the answer for A will be $24 minus $16, which is actually $8. Let's do B. What was the total amount of money she saved on Monday and Tuesday? So, these are the spend portion, and remember she received $40 every day. Let's read these tiny lines over here. This is 12 and this is 16. And this is actually at the halfway point, so this must be 14. And this is the spent amount. To find the saved amount, it will be $40 given to her daily minus $14, which is actually equals to 26 on Monday. And $40 minus, let's look at Tuesday. Tuesday is actually 32 here. Minus 32, which is actually equals to 8. The total saving for these 2 days will be 26 plus 8, which is equals to $34. Let's now do C. In order to find the days that Susan saved more than half of her daily amount, it means that for $40 divide by 2, it is actually 20, and so she must have spent less than 20. So to spend less than 20, we have to look at this line over here. And we can tell from here that on Monday, on Wednesday, and on Thursday, Susan spent less than $20, which means that she can save more money. She can save more than half of the daily amount. So the answer will be Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Let's do question 8. Ali and Sarah started jogging from the same place in opposite direction along a straight path. Both of them did not change their speed. After jogging for 40 minutes, they were 7 kilometers apart. Ali's average speed was 30 meters per minute faster than Sarah. How far did Ali jog? So let's identify the concepts that are here. Number 1, they actually run from the same place. So we have the same place, starting at the same place, and also the same time, starting at the same time, same starting time. In opposite direction, and we have 7 km here and meter here, so definitely we need unit conversion to convert km to meters. And finally, faster means that we have a more than or less than. So 1 km is actually equals to 1000 meters. So 7 km is equal to 7000 meters, because 7 times 1000 is 7000. So notice that together they ran 7000 meters. So for running an extra 30 meters per minute for 40 minutes, so the extra distance covered by Ali is actually equals to 40 times 30, which is equals to 1,200. So the remaining distance will be covered by both Ali and Sarah in equal portion. So 7,000 minus 1,200 divided by 2 is actually equals to 2,900 meters. So to calculate how far Ali has jogged, it will be 2,900 plus 1,200 meter. So distance Ali jogged, it's actually equals to 2,900 plus 1,200, which is equals to 4,100 meter. Since the question did not ask you whether they want meter or km, you can express it as 4,100 meters or 4.1 km. Question 9. In the figure below, not drawn to scale, ABCD, HKJC, and BJFE are squares. Angle BKJ is equals to 50 degree and angle CBE is equal to 70 degree. Find angle AHC, which is actually here. In geometry questions, it's good to know how angles are related to each other using geometrical rules. For example, to find this angle, we may be able to use angle on a straight line to solve this by finding this. And to find this, we may need to use the rule of right angle to be able to find this by finding this. And to find this, we may need to use this and this as well. So let's try to see whether it can work. So one of the angle that we know is that this is 90 degree because they are at the corner of a square, and this is also 90 degree. So to find angle KBH, which is actually at here, we can see that it is actually equals to 360 degree minus 90 degree minus 90 degree and minus 70 degree, because it is using angle at a point to solve, where at a point it is actually 360 degree. So the answer will be 110 degree. So after we have found this, we can actually find this. Because this is a 90 degree, so angle HKB is actually equals to 90 degree minus 50 degree, which is equals to 40 degree at here. So now we can see that this is actually a triangle, and so we can actually find angle KHB using angle sum of triangle, and it will be 180 degree minus 40 degree minus 110 degree, which is equals to 30 degree. So we can now see that this is 30 degree, and because this is 30 degree and this is a 90 degree, we can now see that angle BHC is actually equals to 90 degree minus 30 degree, which is equals to 60 degree. So this is 60 degree. And finally, to find this, we just have to use angle on the straight line to be able to find this, which will be angle AHC is equal to 180 degree minus 60 degree, which is equals to 120 degree. And we have found our answers. Let's recap the concept that is required. The first concept that we use is this angle at a point which is 360 degree. We also use concept like 90 degree here, which is a right angle. We use concept like angle sum of triangle, which is actually 180 degree. And we also use angle on a straight line, which is also 180 degree. So here are the concept list down for you based on these questions. Now we are at question 10. The table below shows the price of pencils and erasers sold at a bookshop. Items price per item: pencil B cents, eraser bracket B plus 10 close bracket cents. A. Aisha bought 3 pencils and 1 eraser. How much did he spend? Give your answers in terms of B. B. Raman paid $5.50 for pencils and some erasers. If B is equals to 35, how many erasers did he spend? So let's identify the concept here. This is definitely a algebra topic question, and since there's only B here, so we can see that it is actually algebra in one variable. And since B is equals to 35, we can see that the question wants to test us on algebra substitution. So let's try to do the question. So to find out how much Aisha spent for 3 pencils. So if 1 pencil is actually B cents, so therefore 3 pencils will be equals to 3 times B, which is equals to 3B cents. So here we know this is 3B, and since 1 eraser is B plus 10, the total that Aisha paid is equals to 3B plus B plus 10, which is equals to 4B plus 10. And remember to put your bracket and the word cents in your answers. So now let's look at Raman's story. So 8 pencil will be equivalent to 8 times B, which is 8B, plus a number of pencil. So 8B is actually equals to 8 times 35, which is equals to 280 cents, and it is also equals to $2.80. Assuming that Raman didn't want to buy this 8 pencil anymore, he would definitely have to pay less than $5.50. So amount spent on the eraser will be $5.50 minus $2.80, which is equal to $2.70. So $2.70s were all used to pay for the eraser. And how much is one eraser? It is actually 35 plus 10. So the price of one eraser is actually equals to 10 plus 35, which is equals to 45. So to find the number of erasers, it will be this amount of money divided by 45 cents. First, we have to change this to cent, which is equals to $1 is equivalent to 100 cents. So 270 is equivalent to 270 cents. So 270 divided by 45, we will get 6 erasers. So the answer for part B is 6 erasers. Question 11. A total of $332.50 was collected from the sale of adults and child's tickets to a concert. $635.50 more were collected from the sales of the adult's ticket than the child's ticket. Each child ticket cost $350 less than an adult's ticket. There were twice as many adult tickets sold as child's ticket. Find the total number of children who went to the concert. So the first thing you may want to do is actually to create a table to help you understand more. So we have the adults and the children, and you can see that for every 2 adults, there were 1 child. You can also see that in terms of the amount of money collected, the adults collected more money than the children ticket sales. And to be exact, this is actually 635.50. So how much actually is equivalent to this box and this box, which is equal? What we can do will be 1332.50 minus 635.50 and divided it by 2, and this will be equals to 348.50. So we can tell here that this is 348.50 and this is also 348.50. Notice that this is used to buy 2 sets of adult sales ticket, while this is used to buy 1 set of adult sales ticket. So to be able to find out how much is for per set of adult ticket here, we have to use 348.50 plus 635.50 and divided it by 2, which is equals to 492. So 1 set of adults ticket, it's $492, and 1 set of children's ticket is actually $348.50. If we draw a model for this and this, we can see that for the adults, it will be much longer than the children, because this is 492 and this is $348.50. So the difference here is due to the child's ticket being cheaper by $350. So what it means is for every 1 adult ticket bought here, okay, it helps to make the model longer by $350. So the number of $350 here will make up the extra in the total amount of money. So if we use 492 minus 348.50, we will get 143.50. So this is 143.50, and if we use 143.50 divided by 350, it will be equals to 41. It means there are 41 of this extra $3.50, which means that there are 41 adult here and 41 child here. So it also means that for every set of adult, there are 41, and therefore there's also 41 adult here. So the number of children is actually 41. And if the question asks what is the total number of adults, it will be 41 times 2 because there are two sets here. Let's recap the concepts tested on. First, it's more than or less than. Second is the concept of times as many because of the word twice. And because of the times as many, we can tell that there are two sets here and one set here. So the concept tested is on sets. Let's try question 12. Question 12 is actually a pattern question. Michael uses identical shaded and unshaded triangle to form figures that form a pattern as shown below. You can see that the printing is not really well done, so we have to add back our triangle. So A, the table shows the number of shaded and unshaded triangles for the first three figures. Complete the table for figure 4. So there is a table here. So figure number 1, 2, 3, 4, and then numbers of shaded triangle 4, 9, and 16. Number of unshaded triangle 3, 5, and 7. Total number of shaded and unshaded triangle 7, 14, and 23. A figure in the pattern has a total of 529 shaded triangle. What is the pattern number? C. Another figure in the patterns have a total of 83 unshaded triangle. What is the total number of shaded and unshaded triangle in this figure? To handle pattern questions, the trick is to try and come up with a formula that you can use to solve the question. So 4 is actually 2 square. So 9 is actually 3 square. 16 is actually 4 square. Therefore, figure 4 will be 2, 3, 4, and 5. Therefore, this is actually 25. So this is actually unshaded, is actually 3 plus 2 to become 5. 5 plus 2 becomes 7. 7 plus 2 will be 9. So to find the total, it will be 4 plus 3, which is 7. 9 plus 5, which is 14. You can also see plus 7. This is a plus 9, and therefore 25 plus 9 is actually 34, which is actually a plus 11. So we have finished part A. So at part B, there is a total of 529 shaded triangle. Okay, so right now we want to come up with a formula so that it's easier for us to do. So notice that since this is 2, we try to use the figure number and create the formula. So this will be 1 plus 1, and then we square it. So this one will be 2, figure 2, plus 1, and then we square it. And this will be figure 3, 3 plus 1, and then we square it. So for this one, okay, we create the formula which will be figure number plus 1, and then we will square it. So figure number plus 1, and we square it, it will be 529. So if we square root 529, it will be figure number plus 1, and this is actually 23. So figure number will be 23 minus 1, which is equals to 22. So the answer for B is actually 22. And let's look at C now. 63 unshaded triangle. So unshaded triangle is 63. So how to find the total? So notice that if we try to use 2 multiplied by 1 plus 1, we will get 3. So 2 multiplied by 2, which is 4, plus 1, we will get 5. So 2 multiplied by 3, which is 6, plus 1, we will get 7. So the formula here is actually the number 2 multiplied by the figure number plus 1. So let's try to find the figure number. 2 multiplied by figure number plus 1 is actually equals to 63. So 2 multiplied by figure number is equals to, so we are getting rid of the 1 here, 63 minus 1, which is actually equals to 62. So in order to find the figure number now, we have to get rid of this 2 times, and we do it by dividing it by 2 on both sides. So this will become 31. So the figure number here, where the unshaded triangle is 63, is actually figure number 31. To find the total number of shaded triangle at here, we apply back the same formula. 31 plus 1, and we square it, it will become 1024. So to find the total number, it will be 1024 plus 63, and the answer will be 1087. Let's recap the concept that is tested here. One of the concepts is definitely square number, because you can see 2 square, 3 square, 4 square. And we are also tested on creating formula based on numbers increasing at regular interval. So it is a concept of equal interval. So for here in B and C, we are also tested on how to work backwards in order to find out the figure number. Let's do question 13. Ramesh had a rectangular block of wood, 9 cm by 4 cm by 7 cm. He painted all the faces of the block. A. What is the total painted area? B. Ramesh cut the block into 1 cm cubes. How many of these cubes have only one of their faces painted? So let's try to start to do the question, and let me just quickly draw for you the lines that are not clear here. So in order to find this area here, we have to use length, which is 9 cm, multiplied by the height, which is 7 cm. And because there are two surfaces, one at the front and the other at the back, we have to multiply this by 2. And let's find the next surface, which is actually 4 here and 7 here. So it will be 4 times 7, and we multiply by 2 because of this side and the opposite side. And let's do the third one, which is actually the top. This is 9 and this side is 4, okay, because they are the same. 9 times 4 times 2, and the total area will be 254 cm squared. So we have finished A. Let's try to do B. So to cut them up into 1 cm cube, we have to find the part that had only one of their faces painted. So in order to understand this, let me just draw you a cube first. So to have one of their faces painted, this is the part that they will paint. Okay, notice that for corners like here, it will be two faces painted, here and here. And notice that at the top, at here, it will be three faces painted. So this cannot be included in our calculation, and this cannot be included in our calculation. So basically we need to find the inner area here. And how are we going to find it? So the first thing we need to do is we have to remove the corners. So it will be 9 minus 1 minus 1, which will become 7. And if we remove the two corners here, this will become 5, which is 7 minus 1 minus 1. Which will be 9 minus 2 is actually 7. 7 minus 2 is actually 5. 7 multiplied by 5 for this side here, there are 35 cubes that are painted only on one of their faces. If we add the one behind, it will be 35 times 2, which is equals to 70. So let's look at this side now. So this is 4. So likewise, we need to use 4 minus 1 minus 1 multiplied by 7 minus 1 minus 1, and it will be 2 multiplied by 5, which is actually 10. 10 times 2 is actually 20. The last part will be at here, the top, and it will be the same thing. Length, okay, so 9 minus 1 minus 1 times 4 minus 1 minus 1, which will become 7 multiplied by 2, which is 14. 14 times 2 is actually 28. So to find the total number of cubes, it will be equals to 70 plus 20 plus 28, which will become 1, 1, 8 cubes. Let's recap the concepts that we learned from this question. The first one will be area and perimeter, surface area, and the other concept that we learned is surface area with unit cubes. Question 14. Jerry, Ken, and Leon shared some stamps. Jerry took 408 stamps. Ken took 1/4 of the remainder. Leon had 24% of the total number of stamps. How many stamps did the three boys have altogether? So to do this question, we should use a unit table. We have Jerry, Ken, and Leon. Jerry took 408 stamps. Ken took 1/4, which means that this is 1. And since remainder, it's 4. So 4 minus 1 is actually 3. Both are from the remainder. So Leon had 24% of the total. So this will be 24% of the total. And since the total is 100%, we can see that from here to here it will be 100% minus 24%, and this is actually 76%. The important point to note is that we can't really do much here because we don't have enough information, but here we have 2 information about Leon. This is 3 groups and this is 24%. They are referring to the same number of stamps that Leon has. To make them the same, multiply 3 by 8 and it will become 24% as well. Similarly, for this blue number, we have to multiply by 8 too, which will become 8%. So if this is 76% and this is 8%, 76% minus 8% will give us 68%. So 68% is actually equivalent to 408. So 1% will be 408 divided by 68 and it will be 6. So if 1% is 6, the total that the 3 boys had will be 100%, and therefore 100% is actually equals to 100 times 6, which will give us 600. Let's recap the concept that is taught for this question. 1/4 of the remainder means that it is testing us on remainder concept. This is 24%, which is testing us on percent of a set. 1/4 is testing us on fraction, 2 units. And we also learned the importance of finding 1%, which is units method. Finding 1 of something is definitely very important to learn how to solve problem sums. We also can see that this is a very important information here, where an individual has 2 pieces of information that reveals the same quantity. By multiplying 3 by 8, we are trying to manipulate the numbers to make them equal. So this is unit manipulation. Question 15. A group of girls sold an average of 60 balloons at the carnival. Then 2 boys joined the group. The 2 boys sold a total of 165 balloons. After the 2 boys joined the group, the average number of balloons sold by all the boys and girls became 65. How many girls were there in the group? So to do this question, let us see what happened in the story. So at first, there were some girls, and we do not know the number of girls, but we know that they sold 60 balloons each. When 2 boys came, the 2 boys sold a total of 165 balloons. And as a result, the average number of balloons sold by all the children become 65. Imagine that the 2 boys actually each sold an average of 65. So boy number 1 and boy number 2, they each sold 65 balloons. It would be 65 multiplied by 2, which is equals to 130. But the problem sum tells us that they sold 165 actually. So 165 minus 130 is actually 35 balloons. So there were this extra 35 balloons that were redistributed to the girls. And at first, each girl sold an average of 60 balloons. But now, because the boys joined in, now the new average has become 65 for each girl as well. So this 5 come from this extra here. So how many 5 are there in 35? So it will be 35 divided by 5, which is equals to 7. So it means that this extra 5 has been redistributed 7 times to the girls. It means there is a total of 7 girls. So let's identify the concept in these questions. There are 2 average number here. One is 60, the other one is 65. So this is a concept of 2 average that we need to use. Also, we found out the number of difference and the gaps here. So it is a gap and difference question. Question 16. In the figure below, not drawn to scale, ABCD is a parallelogram, GED, GHKF, and BCF are straight lines. Angle DAE is equals to 110 degree. Angle EGH is equals to 60 degree. And angle KFC is equals to 30 degree. A. Find angle KCF. B. Find angle AEG. So first, let us find where is angle KCF, and KCF is actually at here. To find this angle over here, we need to find what is the angle here. And this is a parallelogram. So if this is 110 degree, this will also be 110 degree. So since this is 110 degree, if we use the property of angle on a straight line, angle KCF CF will be equal to 180 degree minus 110 degree, which is equals to 70 degree. Now let's try to find angle AEG, which is at here. So to find this angle here, we need to use other information. For example, first, if we find this angle over here, we would be able to find this angle as well because this is vertically opposite angle. And once we find this angle here, we can also find this angle here because this is actually a corresponding angle since AB is parallel to DC. And if we have found this angle here, we can definitely find angle AEG because one exterior angle is the sum of two interior angles. So let's start. Angle CKF is actually equals to 180 degree minus 70 degree minus 30 degree because it is angle sum of triangle and we will get 80 degree. So since this is 80 degree, this will also be 80 degree because angle CKF is equals to angle HKD because of vertically opposite angle. So now angle HKD is actually equals to angle GHE because this is actually a letter F and it is a corresponding angle. This and this is the same. So it will be 80 degree here. So to find this angle here, if I draw this for you, you'll be able to see that angle A plus angle B will be equal to angle C. 2 interior is equals to 1 exterior. Let me prove to you. For example, if this is 40 degree and this is 60 degree, so 100 degree will be here and this is actually 80 degree. Since this is angle on a straight line, 180 minus 80 is equals to 100. So you can see that 40 plus 60 is equals to 100. So now we can say that angle AEG is equals to 60 degree plus 80 degree, which is equals to 140 degree. Let's recap what we have learned for this. Number one, we must learn what is a parallelogram, and we know that for a parallelogram, the angle here is the same as the angle here, and likewise is the same as the angle here. We also learn the importance of angle on a straight line. We see the importance of angle sum of triangle. We also see the importance of vertically opposite angle here, where this angle is the same as this angle. We also see the importance of corresponding angle here, where this angle is the same as this angle. Finally, we see how we can use 2 interior angle is equals to 1 exterior angle, which is exterior angle of a triangle. Question 17. The figure is made up of 4 semicircles and a rectangle ABCD. AB is equals to 9 cm, BC is equals to 12 cm, and AC is equals to 15 cm. Find the total area of the shaded part. take pi equals to 3.14. So we can see a few shapes in this figure. We can see semicircle and rectangle. But the interesting thing is we also see weird figure like here. And how are we going to find out the area at here? So the concept here that we want to use is to use the addition of different area and then minus the overlapping area. Let me show you how. For example, let's call this A1, A2, A3, and A4. So you can tell that here to here is actually made up of a large semicircle. And to find this two semicircle, it will be the formula of pi times ara. If this is 12, ara is actually 6 times 6. Now let's look at other areas. So let's call this B1, B2, B3, and B4. So B1, B2, B3, B4 is made up of a smaller circle that comprises of two semicircles. So the area for this circle will be pi times, since this is 9 cm, it will be half of it is actually 4.5 multiplied by 4.5. Then we find the area of this rectangle here using the length of 12 and the breadth of 9. And let's call this C1, C2. So C1 and C2 is actually equals to 9 times 12. Now we are going to minus the area of the big circle, which comprises of A2 from here, A3 from here, B2 from here, B3 from here, C1 from here, and C2 from here. So all this part were made up one yellow circle, and this is the diameter, so the radius will be half of 15, which is 7.5. So the formula here will be pi times 7.5 times 7.5. Now let me show you what happened when we use the addition of these three shapes, which comprises of one large circle, one small circle, and one rectangle, and we minus a big circle, we will find what is the shaded circle. Let me show you why. Since this is going to minus this, so A2 will be removed, A3 will be removed, B2 will be removed, B3 will be removed, C1 will be removed, and C2 will be removed. So the remaining area will be A1, A4, B1, B4, which is actually from here. A1, A4, B1, and B4. area of big circle plus area of small circle plus rectangle area minus area of the white circle. Let's call it white circle or unshaded circle, okay? So which is equals to 36 pi plus 20.25 pi plus 108 minus 112.5 pi, which is equal to 108 cm squared. So let's recap what we have learned. We learned that when there are weird shapes that we need to find, it is likely that we need to find the typical shapes that we have learned in our syllabus and minus another shape that we have in our syllabus so that we can remove the overlapping area. So the concept here is mainly area of a rectangle, area of circle, area of overlapping area. That's all for today. I hope that you have benefited from this revision based on SA2 exam papers. I strongly encourage you to find out what you are weak at and practice more on those parts that you are weak at. So to practice more questions, you can go to iSchool.sg. And let's say you want to find questions that has words with the word free. You can find them and practice them. So we have quite a number of questions that has the word free inside. You can also find questions based on concept that you're weak at. For example, if you want to find questions on exterior angle, you can also find them. So whenever I recap for every individual question, it is because I want you to know that you can always get help based on the concept you're weak at. Once you have enough practice on the concept that you're weak at, you will definitely improve in getting a higher math exam score. Thanks for being with me for the past 1.5 hours. I really appreciate your patience with me, and it's my desire that you do well for your exam. Remember, you are unstoppable and I believe in you. Bye-bye. See you.